So yeah, Mass Effect Andromeda story. What do I think about it? Here I'm talking about the main campaign, um, issues with the Ket, Angara, and, and I'm just going blank on the name of the species that made the Angara. And I'll put in the video description spoilers, so hopefully people read that before they start watching this. They apparently are an invented species by the Jadar, which the Jadar are the species that created the Remnant tech. I'm sorry, the Jardan. The Jardan. Those species who made the Remnant tech, and the Codex, as in all Mass Effect games, including this one, is really well done. Great writing. You get all of the information pretty much that you need out of the Codex. But there's a lot of questions about. I finished the campaign game. In my opinion, I'm done with it. You don't really get to know who the Jardan are, other than they made this fantastic technology that seems to fabricate themselves. They seem to have mastery of nanotechnology and artificial intelligence. And yet, apparently, they also were incredibly gifted biologists because they made the Angara. The Angara are a manufactured species, which that I thought was interesting because apparently they're not uplifted. You know, they didn't take the Angara apparently off of another world and then augment them so that they were sapient species. Kind of using the David Brin terminology from his Uplift series, read a couple of his books, but yeah, apparently the Jardan made the Angara. We're assuming from scratch, because it says the motives of this creation are still unclear. So they were created, not uplifted. I would assume that if they're uplifted, they would use that term. That's fairly well known in science fiction. That was kind of an interesting discovery in the game, very late in the game, that the Angara are manufactured. You don't know why they did it, why the Jardan would have created the Angara. They obviously had a reason for it. I would assume they did it not just to show themselves as, it's just a demonstration of how powerful their science is and engineering. One would think that they did it for a purpose. Or are the Angara like a proxy fighting force? Are they used to conquer planets, different stellar systems for later for the Jardan to take over? And the Jardan obviously built their the remnant tech on these worlds that they place the Angara on, to terraform them, apparently, for the Angara. And that could be why flora and fauna is just the same really across all planets. Except you don't see these manta in too many worlds, just Habitat 7 and I think Abaro. Yes, so the lack of animal diversity and plant diversity is kind of a bummer. But yeah, so that's a big unknown. Who are the Jardan? You'd like to know more, and obviously, if they're going to make a trilogy out of this, which we're all assuming they're going to make a trilogy, we're going to find them later on. Kind of hoping they're not kind of an overarching villain what the Reapers were in the original trilogy. I'm hoping that they're, for the most part, I don't know. I kind of want to think the Jardan are like Kosh was, the Vorlons were in Babylon 5, for example. But most likely, since the Scourge is apparently a weapon that was used by some other species against the Jordan and the Remnant tech, because the Scourge, assuming that how it works is there's no real explanation of how it works other than it's drawn to Remnant tech, and it creates mass effect disturbances. Apparently, you can read the codex. I'm not going to go over it, but apparently it manipulates dark energy. That's in the universe that's associated with Remnant tech. As Liam says, it's like a minefield that they laid down, apparently to block the Jardan. We have no idea who did this. It's obviously not the Ket, since the Ket want Remnant tech, especially the Archon. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they develop these other civilizations in the universe. What's also very interesting, at the end of the game, the last memory fragment that you pick up reveals that whoever the benefactor was, and I think some people think that might be the Shadow Broker, whatever. We really don't know who the benefactor is. They gave tons of resources. The Andromeda Initiative knew about the Reapers coming. They talk about Shepard, his discovery of the Reaper threat, and how the Andromeda Initiative took this very seriously, so serious that they built a fleet of arcs and sent them to the Andromeda Galaxy, which I was hoping to see, and I'm glad it was introduced in the story. So yeah, who's the benefactor? Is he part of the Andromeda Initiative still? We're assuming that this individual still is. I'm assuming it's a he, probably a she. Just it's kind of jabbed at SJWs because there was way too many female leaders, and that I don't. My main beef with SJWs is all this identity politics crap. They really need to stop it because it's fragmenting people instead of bringing people together. But okay, my politics, I'll leave that aside. But yeah, I'm assuming that the Jardan are going to be not so beneficial. This is probably more like the Vorlons in Babylon 5, and perhaps the society that built the Scourge is going to be like the Shadows, maybe. And I think humanity and the other Milky Way galaxy species, we're going to be kind of caught in the middle. That's what I'm guessing this trilogy is going to play out, as two opposing forces, instead of with the original trilogy you had this overarching dominant cycle, the Reaper cycle. I don't think we're going to have that. My guess is that the Jardan and the Scourge species are going to be fighting it out, and I think humanity's going to be caught in the middle. That's just speculation on my part. We'll see what the trilogy, what BioWare creates with the trilogy, and hopefully they get some damn better writers, because wow, the writing with this title was just all over the place. And it definitely took away from my experience and a lot of experience of other Mass Effect fans and just players in general. So anyway, talk to you guys later.